Minnesota is paying a sizable settlement after almost 90 years of a process the Supreme Court found unconstitutional last year. Fox 9 first told you a year ago in January about a 94-year-old Minneapolis woman who sued Hennepin County. The county had sold her home at auction and kept all the proceeds above and beyond what she owed in back taxes. Our Corin Hoggard had the story last year, and he's live now at the Capitol where they're now working on a fix to all of that. Corin, tell us about it.
Yeah, Randy, just a few months after our story, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the county couldn't just take all of her money and keep it. That opened the floodgates here, and now Minnesota will pay $109 million to about 6,000 property owners, and legislators are changing the law.
Geraldine Tyler left her Minneapolis condo in 2010, but never wanted to sell it. 11 years later, and in her 90s, she racked up about $15,000 in unpaid taxes, penalties, and interest. When Hennepin County seized the place and sold it for $40,000, she got nothing.
It's really important that property owners, especially ones who are vulnerable, who are in a bad place if they're being foreclosed upon, are able to get these excess proceeds that they're due.
Minnesota was one of 12 states to regularly seize people's property and keep all the proceeds.
Minnesota government has been doing that since 1935. It's totally wrong then, it was totally wrong now.
Senator Warren Limmer authored a bill after the Supreme Court ruled in Tyler's favor last year, saying Hennepin County couldn't just take her property, sell it, and keep the change.
It's like buying something for $3 and you give the cashier a $10 bill. You expect your change back.
Republican Limmer's bill has stagnated, but Democratic Representative Sandra Feist picked up the mantle this year. Her bill would still call on property owners to file a claim to any excess proceeds, which some Supreme Court justices hinted might pass constitutional muster. But she tells me she's considering taking out that requirement.
We don't want to create a complicated process where we're going to trick people into, screwing up the paperwork and then, oops, you didn't get the proceeds.
I talked to leaders at the AARP and to the attorneys who represented Geraldine Tyler in that Supreme Court case. They all prefer a bill where the state just cuts a check to property owners for the excess proceeds from the sale of their seized homes or seized properties, and they don't want the property owners to have to file anything to make that happen. Live at the Capitol, Corin Hoggard, Fox 9.
All right, Corin.